Hi Libra, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is your general monthly reading for the month of March 2021. I nearly forgot the month. I cannot wait for Mercury retrograde to be done tomorrow. Because it's just like left my brain. Things leave my brain today. Yeah, let's get down to your reading. All the normal housekeeping stuff like how to book personal reads, your birth chart, the decks used and everything are all down below. What I'm going to do is a monthly reading. I'm going to break the month into quarters. That's very rough quarters. It's not set in stone that that's that quarter, that's that quarter. It's just the energy across the month as it flows. And then I'll do an overall energy for the top. So let's see what we've got for the first quarter for Libra for March, please. The first quarter. Four of Swords, a need to heal, contemplate, reflect. Not put too much pressure on yourself. It's a time to self-love is on there. So you've took a battering, basically. You've took a battering emotionally, possibly mentally, physically exhausted yourself. Like, I don't know if the mental anguish has fed into the physical, because obviously we manifest physical symptoms when we have mental anxiety and anguish. But it's time for you to sort of take pause and just rest. Have a mooch day. Have a day where you just do nothing. And if in that day you do nothing and you read a book or something low effort, but I mean you can still be productive with low effort, can't you? I mean, make a picnic and then sit in front of the telly for the day with you and the kids and just mooch and give yourself a day off. And finish the day off with a bath at the end of it or whatever. There's something that you need to do in order to look after yourself and heal, and you've been through the ringer, so you really, really, really need to regenerate. And I literally got like Mario, do 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 do, like that. It's like that's literally the image that just came in my head. Mario, you know when he gets big, like do 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 do, and it's like you need to take that moment. He takes, was it a mushroom for that to happen? If mushrooms are your thing, then that's fine. If that's how you regenerate and restore yourself, but what I mean is you need to like put good into you that empowers you. So rest, relaxation, looking after yourself a little bit if you need to, giving yourself time and space to like process feelings and emotions, and you don't have to actively be physically doing things all the time, and sometimes you have to stop. And if that means giving yourself a wholesome meal to like regenerate yourself, put in some good vitamins, I don't know, it's whatever you need to do for your self-care journey, but you need to do that in order to regenerate yourself and rejuvenate yourself a little bit, because you've been through the ringer lately and you need to get some rest. What have you got for the second quarter of March for Libra, please? Six of Pentacles, generosity, charity and support. Money exchanging hands, possibly, Libra. I don't know if you've got any big expenses coming up, but equally, if you are struggling materially, whether that's food, water, clothes, money, whatever, don't be afraid to look for avenues of help. That doesn't have to be from people you know either. There are organisations out there that can support you in certain situations. But if you are in a position to give help, Libra, put it out there, because helping people releases oxytocin, which makes us happy. So the act of doing something to help someone also gives you an element of happiness as well. So and I don't just mean financially. I don't know if maybe it's like you cook a meal and there's an extra, you can plate up an extra plate and just see if there's like on your local community, go, does anybody need a meal tonight? Because I can drop this to your door. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you need help, speak up. But if you can give help, speak up. It's very much the card of giving and taking. Because when we're down, we look for people to avenues of help, and there might be someone that's on their own and they're lonely and they go, do you know what, I can't be bothered to cook tonight, and so they wouldn't eat unless they saw your meal, where your post that said does anybody need a meal? And then they've got this meal, do you know what I mean? Like, and it makes them feel better because they're in a really low place and they're feeling isolated, and it reminds them that they're not alone, and they're fed. Do you know what I mean? Like, they weren't even going to practice self-care and feed themselves that night, and because you've put that up, somebody out there has been reminded that the world, they're not alone in the world, that there is kindness and generosity out there, and they're eating, which they probably wouldn't have been doing if, not because it's not necessarily even, well, they may not have been able to afford the meal in the first place, but equally that maybe they're in a really low place and they just, cooking a meal was just too much that day. And they needed that as a support, do you know what I mean? Okay, what have we got for the third week of March for Libra? The Two of Wands, focus, intention, progress and planning. Yep. There's something that a project that you want to get off the ground. This may be charity related. Maybe there's a local community project you're trying to get off the ground, and that's why you need to rest and restore, because you cannot make this happen or take on this if you haven't got anything to give. The Two of Wands is literally about planning where it is you want to be, seeing the end goal, and then starting to make moves towards making that end goal happen. So it's very early days in a project, but it's making, you literally have the world in your hands. You may have to consider other people in this, in moving forward in this plan, but it's really about having an end goal of where in the world you want to be and what difference you want to put out in the world. That's really what I'm getting. But it's about finding your place in the world and making your place in the world. I really hope that makes sense, because that feels like a very, it's kind of like you know what your role is supposed to be, so you're making moves towards it, honing in on making something happen. Can I have a card for the fourth quarter of March? Thank you. Six of Swords, transitions, moving on, and liminal space. Yeah, the Six of Swords is all about moving on emotionally. So maybe you're looking at moving abroad or moving away, getting out of a situation. Maybe if you are in a place where you are feeling abused or trapped, maybe you need to reach out for help, and then that by getting that help, asking for help, that starts making the moves to get out of there and escape. Oh, escape just feels so heavy to say. It really is escape. Or just if you're in a place where something has exhausted you and you just think, I just need to move forward, maybe you need to look at other job opportunities, if that's like making moves towards leaving the job if it doesn't serve you, if it's making you exhausted to the point where you just need to look after yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your priorities? Do you need help getting out of a situation that doesn't serve you anymore? Can you put on your Facebook, does anybody know of any opportunities coming up in XYZ? Or it's about making moves towards like transitioning to the next stage. Maybe you want to create a charity in order to move on to what you're supposed to be doing. But it's very much setting those plans in action and making the moves to do that, to transition to the next phase of your life, which is making this plan come into being. Your overall energy for the month is the Seven of Wands, which is, it's vulnerability. So if this is very much an abusive situation, you may feel very defensive and vulnerable, exposed, raw. Whatever it is that's got you in this energy where you need help and recovery, you're in such a raw, vulnerable state. You need to protect yourself. I feel really like you have to protect yourself. If this is like an abusive, getting out of an abusive situation, you need to protect yourself. Make moves in a way that if you are leaving, make sure that you have all the documentation you need for you and any children, if there's any children, birth certificates, medical records, get it all ready in a place, so you know you can get it and go if you need to. Or maybe that means like getting a person removed from your property, with the police, or just get guidance from any women's aid or domestic abuse charities, not just women that are abused. If that's your situation, please, please, please get the relevant help and advice from your local domestic abuse, women's aid charities, because although it's women's aid, I don't know if they specifically only help women. I don't know if it's just like domestic abuse situations. I don't know. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you have money issues, in the UK we have Citizens Advice Bureau. Try and get some help from them. Be kind to yourself. You can't take on these battles if you're trying to go at 100 miles an hour all the time, trying to keep all the balls juggling. If you're struggling with the balls juggling, you need to cut yourself a bit of a break and get some help. If it's way, way, way overwhelming and you're really isolated, please, by all means, ring Samaritans or any mind charities, mental health charities. It's just so you can kind of refocus. It's like you need help in order to focus, like getting out of the situation that you're in right now, because that situation is emotionally, physically, mentally exhausting right now. It's not serving you. It's leaving you feeling very shaky, vulnerable, defensive to a point. And I think to some people you're coming off as harsh and abrasive when really what you are is struggling and you need help. You need to ask for it to help you move forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need help getting out of the situation you're in. That's okay to need help. That's what we're for, right? We're all community and we're all one. I don't know anyone that would want to see someone struggling and suffering. So please, please, please speak up for help. And if you can help someone in this situation, if you know it's going on, find the information that they need, signpost them to where they need to be, help them if you can to move on and out of that situation. Your animal, spirit animal, of all the cards, spirit animal wisdom, is Panther, protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it to freely. Protect your energy, protect yourself, protect what's essential to you. Do not be very, very selective who you let into your inner circle. And if that means getting someone out of it, it means getting someone out of your area, your house, your situation, or getting away from them. If they don't serve you, if they're toxic, if they drag you down, if they've got you in this position where you feel attacked and vulnerable, then you need to do what you can to protect yourself from them. Your animal spirit card is Lion. Yeah, these strong cats coming through. It's like you're prepared to fight. You have fight in you, you have fire in you. You're not weak. This situation has got you feeling weak, but you're not a weak person. You have incredible strength. If this is an abusive situation and you've stuck it out, oh my God, the strength within you to get through that situation. The Lion also is protection, protects the pride. Do you know what I mean? The pride is always the priority. Focus, what needs to be, do you know what I mean? Survival as well. Passionate, driven, instinctive. The pride also help each other. It's a community. Like the lionesses go and hunt. I'm sure the male lions do something other than lay in the sun, but for the life of me I can't think what it is. But everybody gets fed, everybody gets looked after. The pride moves together. It's a community. It's not, when they have to move on, they move on together. Do you know what I mean? There's support in numbers in the pride, so they protect each other. They protect for the greater good. Do you know what I mean? There's help. There's community. So you have a pride. You have people around you that can help and support you out of whatever the environment this is that is draining the crap out of you. Diminishing your light. I don't know why I'm saying it's diminishing your light, but that's really what's coming through, and you need to protect your light and protect your energy and protect yourself and those that matter most to you from whatever this is that's seeping toxicity into you, that's draining you. setting very firm boundaries, like what will and will not be tolerated in your pride. If they want to be in your pride, then they have to stick to the rules. Because if anybody challenges the rules and pushes the limits, they are ousted from the pride and they have to go and fend for themselves elsewhere because they don't fit in with the pride. And it's almost like you need to have that energy about you right now. I hope that's been of some use to you, Libra. Sending so much strength to you. That feels heavy, but you need to remember there's help out there if you need it. Because I think you would give it in a heartbeat, but taking it's so much harder for you. But there is help out there, and there's help out there for a reason, because it's needed and necessary. People don't set up charities because they feel like it willy-nilly. It's out there because it's necessary. Somebody needed help at that crisis point for them, and so they set up a charity so nobody else had to go through that crisis the way they did, that there was support out there for them. They forged the way so there was support that's out there because it's necessary, and it's necessary that you tap into that right now. I hope that's been of some help, Libra. I should be back with the weeklies later in the week for the first week of March. Touch wood, I'm managing to get the weeklies out and the monthlies at the moment, so I'm really impressed that we're managing to balance that. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the details for how to do that are down below. What else? Yeah, all the normal gunther's down there, like birth charts and stuff. So yeah, hope that's been helpful, Libra. Let me know if it resonates or not, and I will see you again for the weeklies. Bye for now.